Well, g'day throttlers, welcome back to the channel. I've got a really exciting video for you today if you're a hot hatch fan. Now that does look like my old Polo GTI, but it's not. This is the brand new 2023 Volkswagen Polo GTI from Sutherland Volkswagen. Let's check it out. Let's take a closer look at the Volkswagen Polo GTI. Now this is 2 years newer than the one that I had. So it's very similar. In fact, it's an identical color to the one that I had, but the main changes that they've done is the front and rear end when it comes to the LED lighting. So coming down into the LED lighting here, you can see you've got your directional lights here, but this daytime running lamp here goes all the way through the center of the bonnet, all the way to the other side to the other daytime running lamp as well. So at night, this thing looks really spot on. There's brand new spotlights down here, or fog lights, and a new splitter setup as well. So that's what's different to the one that I had. Coming around the driver's side, you can see these wheels look really nice. I'm really impressed with the look of these wheels. Nice 18 inches all round. Obviously, the GTI is everywhere. Any GTIs are covered in little splashes of red with GTI. Very cool. Let's go around the outside completely first. Again, 18-inch rear wheel here, and also a new light configuration for the back. So these now have the fancy, I'm not even sure what it's called, but it's the indicators that flash out when they're on. It looks really cool. A lot of people did it to older cars, but they're coming stock with the modern German cars. And the rear lighting setup is a little bit nicer too, having this little insert here as compared to the one that I had just stopped there and it was just on the end. Other than that, everything around the back is as the recent generation was. This was the best decision Volkswagen ever made when they started putting badges in the center of the back of a vehicle. I love symmetry, and when you'd see GTI over here and Volkswagen in the middle, it just looked a bit weird to me, but everything centralized now satisfies my OCD. I'm sure a lot of people might agree. Anyway, let's have a quick look inside. Back seat first. Now obviously not as much room in the back seat as with the Golf, but for me, and after owning one of these for a couple of years, it was more than enough room to put people in the back, unless they were 6-foot giants, 6 foot and above giants. But there's also 2 USB-Cs here in the back, so you got kids in the back, or you want to charge your accessories at all on the back seat, there's plenty of charging space in the back as well. Now coming onto the interior, as you can see in the door trim and also across the dash and into the other door trim is the red inserts. Now on camera, on photos and on videos, this doesn't look too good in my opinion, but when you're looking at it up front with your own eyes, personally I really like it, and on mine I liked it a lot. In fact, on my 2-year-older version of this, this was a more matte color, and now it's more gloss. So obviously everyone has a different preference whether it's matte or gloss, but this generation, this model now is gloss across the top. Now the infotainment center is the same as my generation of Polo, and I never had any problems with it. It's large enough, it does everything you need to do. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Now I don't know why all vehicles don't have that. My current vehicle, you've got to plug your phone in and it just drives me just a little bit nuts. Of course, coming down to the center here, you've got your air conditioning controls, all haptic, 7-speed DSG gearbox, drive modes down here as well. And my favorite thing ever is a real park brake. From a charging point of view, this whole platform is a wireless charger for your phone. You slip it in there. You've also got 2 USB-C inputs there as well. And right down the very back, you've also got a 12-volt input there. Now, Volkswagen make my favorite steering wheels on the market, actually. This steering wheel is really comfortable. It's bulky. It's got all of the little grooves in it that you need to grab hold of it when you're having a good time on the side of the road. You've got ample controls around here. You've got a nice little GTI layered in there, and the digital cockpit, which is becoming more and more common, but still one of my favorite features of the car. You can actually customize this to show your navigation in here, your music, whatever you like. You can actually customize that dashboard to suit yourself. Coming up here, you've got a sunglasses holder, you've got your map lights, and you've got your controller for your magnificent big sunroof. Now, for a baldy like me, the sunroofs don't excite me that much, but I know that most people love them and buy them. This has got a screen that you can pull across. It's not 100% blackout. There is a little bit of light that comes through this as well. They say that this is UV protective and you won't get sunburnt through there. However, I feel that I do get a bit of a sunburn head, but I'm pretty fair, and obviously there's no hair on my head. So if I'm driving with the roof open, I've always got a cap on. Well, I have to say that it's much nicer today than it was yesterday. I tried to film this episode yesterday morning down the south coast of Sydney, and it was horrid. It was windy, the rain started coming in, and it just became too bloody hard. I went inland for a little bit to try and find another location, and I just gave up. Take two, and a much nicer day. It's still cloudy, but there's no wind. The sun is trying to get out, and it's a much more beautiful day to do something like this and to enjoy filming and shooting this car. So spending this week in the Polo GTI has made me really miss my own Polo GTI that moved on just recently from me, not too long ago at all. Now, I don't think many people would argue this, that Volkswagen create the two most iconic hot hatches in all time, the Polo GTI and the Golf GTI. They are the industry standard that everyone else has always tried to chase. Now, there are a lot of people in the market that are creating epic hot hatches right now, but for me, the standard is still the Polo and the Golf. Now, in saying that, if you've narrowed down your choices to the two Volkswagens and you've ruled everything else out, I'm not going to talk about the other brands because that's not what I'm here for today. But for me, the two obvious choices are the Golf GTI and the Polo GTI. And why would you choose one over the other? Now, the first thing I'll say is they are two very different cars when it comes to size. Now, the Golf GTI has almost become the size of a medium car now. I don't believe the Golf is a small car anymore. But the Polo is still a small car. This is more compact, more nimble, more agile as well. So when you come down to the performance, the power, the torque, and the 0 to 100, there's not a lot of difference in these two cars anymore. But I'll tell you where there is a lot of difference. There's a lot of difference when it comes to how much money is going to come out of your pocket for each vehicle. Around about $42,000 is going to get you into the Polo GTI and all of this epic fun that this creates. If you're wanting to step into a Golf GTI, your starting price will be $55,000, going upwards of $70,000 depending on what sort of add-ons you want to do in that car. So for me, the ultimate bang for your buck in almost any hot hatch that's on the market is right here in the Polo GTI. Now, that's not saying that the Golf isn't an epic car, because in my opinion the Golf is almost the perfect hot hatch, but it's not for everyone, and it wasn't for me. I love the visceral feeling I get out of this. I love the fact that on a twisty road, when I'm driving enthusiastically, that I can actually feel this car in the corners. The Golf is almost too perfect that you sit in a corner and it's like it's on rails. That's a difference of opinion depending on what you're looking for out of your car. But I really love the lightweight factor. It's almost as powerful, it's almost as torquey, and it's almost as fast on the 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. But that's up to you. That's your choice. Just my opinion. Well, look, I have to admit, being down here on these twisty roads is really making me miss my Polo GTI. Oh, it feels like home. It's so reliable when it comes to the performance. You know exactly what you're going to get with a Polo GTI. It's fun, it's nimble, it's agile, it's powerful. Yeah. Oh, I miss it so much. Just throwing it into a corner, just with ease, very little body roll, heaps of acceleration out of a corner, DSG using the manual paddle shifters on the wheel. So much fun. As my mate Ross on Biker Talk says, it's all about the grin factor. And for me, this is a 10 out of 10 grin factor. Let me know in the comment section below what your favorite hot hatch is. Is Volkswagen in the mix for you? Or is it one of the other brands that are creating hot hatches at the moment? I'd love to know your thoughts. There's no right and wrong, of course, because we've all got different needs and different tastes. For me, you can't go past the Polo GTI for value for money, for performance, for fun factor.